Yeah, back online just because the previous one went so well. We got a couple of things. So we already have a Flask web application developed. It even has a name, Flask Viz. It will be available on the site soon. We're still sorting out the actual deployment. So we have all these EG and ECG applications on the site that you have probably seen. And I would like to, so I'm redoing them in Python. They were originally done in LabVIEW, MATLAB, and the like. Not very open source, not friendly, and quite expensive. So moving on. Yeah, we tried modeling 3D modeling cochleas and ears and heads and the like. That didn't go quite well as well. Might have it available on the site, but it's not the main thing. One of the things that works well and I've been testing for a while is this face of mine that you can see. But just a quick one, just to get back to it. This is the explanation of what it does. This is the Python code. Now we were trying to turn it into a HTML web application without much success. We'll give it another go. But quickly, just to get back to developing it, I actually want to use it as so currently it only works on my machine, and I would like to I might just record. So this application only works on my own machine, doesn't work in a web browser as Flask or JavaScript. So if I'm using it on my own machine, I would like the video image to be removed and only the hand and face indicators be visible. Ideally, it will have a transparent background. Let's see. It's interesting it went for the last one. Probably the easiest one. Let's see what it says.
To achieve a transparent background where only the hand and face indicators are visible, you can follow these steps. Create a transparent background using a blank image with 4 channels, 3 for RGB and 1 for alpha. This alpha channel will be used to make the image transparent. Draw the hand and face indicators on this transparent background. Display the resulting frame. Draw the hand and face indicators on this transparent background. Display the resulting frame. Here's how you can modify the given code to achieve this.
Right, ideally would just like to have the code, but let's see what's what. So we weren't using NumPy before. Now we are. Just double check that I was. Yeah.
Transparent background is created using np.zeros and with shape, frame.shape, 0, frame.shape, 1, 4. The last dimension is 4 to accommodate RGB and alpha channels. When drawing the landmarks, make sure to draw on the transparent _BG instead of the frame. The color codes now have an additional channel value, i.e. 0, 255, 0, becomes 0, 255, 0, 255. The last value, 255, makes the drawing fully opaque on the transparent background. Now, when you run the application, you'll see only the landmarks on a transparent background. If the transparency doesn't display properly in the OpenCV window, you'll still be able to save these frames as transparent PNGs and view them in image viewers that support transparency. Regenerate. ChatGPT may produce inaccurate information about people, places, or facts. ChatGPT August 3rd version.
Yeah, that's right. Let's just rename this Python script. Had a very long name before. Can you regenerate the whole code script in text on screen with the changes? Let's do that quickly. How we can delete. Let's see. So edit numpy directory, which we should have installed. That should be fine. Initializing media pipe. So we're still using media pipe, which is again not JavaScript friendly. So it's actually ignored all my other requests before, but that's okay for now. Initializing video capture. Yeah, we have two cameras, 0 and 1, so we're using the second one for this. While true, that remained the same. Right, this red. So this red was actually not used prior. Now, like an annotation there, but we'll just keep going for a bit. And this bit would be different. This way, adding a transparent background. So using the numpy, just looking mainly to see if if this code is whole code or doesn't have any placeholders or missing bits. And if we run it, it would not run because we have to close the previous bit. All right, and that's just yeah, it did what I asked it to do. Well, one of the things that I asked it to do, just straight away. Just let's see. This screen is not really transparent. Or is it? No, I'm pretty sure it's not. It's not transparent, is it? The hands are working. Yeah, I would like it to. Let's see. So the background seemed to be black and not transparent. Let's see what it says, but it's good that it did. So it doesn't support alpha transparency.
Code interpreter. Import CV2 import media pipe as MP hashtag initialize media pipe holistic model and hand tracking MP underscore holistic equals MP dot solutions dot holistic equals MP underscore holistic MP underscore hands equals MP dot solutions dot hands
Wait,
equals MP
what?
underscore hands hashtag initialize video capture cap equals CV2 dot video capture 1. Apologize for the confusion. The OpenCV window does not support alpha transparency, so it will display a black background for the 4-channel images. However, the modifications I provided will produce a transparent image if you save it as a PNG file. If you want to visually confirm the transparency, you can save the processed frames to PNG files and view them in an image viewer that supports transparency. Here's how you can save the frames to PNG files. Add a counter before the loop to name the file sequentially.
Yep, but I get frame counter.
Inside the loop, after processing each frame, save it as a PNG. Then, you can check the saved PNG files in an image viewer to see the transparency. If you want to display the transparent effect in real time, you'll need a more complex setup, such as using a different GUI library that supports alpha transparency, or overlaying the landmarks onto a live video feed in a way that makes the background seem transparent. If you want to display the transparent effect in real time, you'll need a more complex setup, such as using a different GUI library that supports alpha transparency, or overlaying the landmarks onto a live video feed in a way that makes the background seem transparent.
I could bring in the images. So the question is, I don't know if it's a problem of it could be also a thing in OBS that I'm using. The reason it's not being transparent. But that change is probably come before the loop. Inside the loop. Do we have only one loop? Yes, we do. While true, don't we? Count before the loop to name the file sequentially. So this will go a frame counter here. This thing would go the pigeon at the end of the while loop. You just keep saving images. Hopefully into the same folder. Okay, I'll just rewrite the same image. I'm not sure. Let's try it out. So that's that. And where is it writing? Writing images somewhere? Yeah, it's writing all the frames. It's a cool folder called webcam. Yeah, don't see any images. That's the transparent background. And she. Ah, I do see them. Right. It keeps. Right, so they look like this. You know what the. Sometimes they disappear and they keep being written. I'll just stop this for a sec. Yeah, first I wanted to write them into the same. Yeah, I should know how to do it by now. Can you write the images into the same folder where the Python script is located? wrote a gazillion of them. Just select all. So this thing by type png. Right, it wrote like 1,000 of them. Actually,
We'll save
that's
the
not
images in the directory
true.
from which the script is run, which is usually the same directory as the Python script. If you run the script from the directory where it's located, the PNG files will be saved there. Now, when you run the script, you'll see PNG files named frame_0.
No, that's fine, but that's not what I asked. The images are written into a root directory. Can you write into the same subdirectory where the Python script is? To delete them all. Yes, I'm pretty sure they are transparent. There's like almost 2,000 of them. Yes, we want that. Modify the I'm right. Okay. Yes, it will create a directory. That's okay. And we're modifying I'm right. To this. And delete them all. It's like 10 megabytes worth of images. I don't know why it's taking so long to delete. It should disappear from here. Yeah, this should be easier to manage. We'll run this quickly. It should create a folder for us. There is no folder. Still did created it in. Created it. Uh, right, so those are the images. I'm pretty sure they are transparent. That should be fine. Can I just check one thing in OBS? No. Add an image. And that image should be one of those frames. Right, so it is transparent. I can close this one. Right, so it is a transparent image. And that's okay. Now, question is, first I'd like to write into the same file. If I keep writing to the same file, frame counter, PNG. I'll just get rid of that. So that should be frame count of 0. Uh, quickly. Ah, this folders. Modified to check the current directory where the Python script is located, and then write the files into a frames folder. We can delete those files in a sec. Yep, we want the current directory. Yeah, the frames should be. Yeah, we don't have to do that. Essentially, that's that bit. And I'm right. Frame counter is okay. Yeah, wanna. Hopefully, this is okay. We can delete this frames directory. Should see. Right, so we got frames. It keeps writing into. Right, so if I open, well, because it keeps writing to this folder, which is fine. But let's in OBS in the image properties selected frames, frame 0. Okay. Yeah. It's updating, but it has a delay. Sometimes it disappears entirely. So not ideal because it's rewriting the same file. Uh, so that the hands, the hands work. Oh, that's interesting. No, it's okay. We have a message. Yes, I do share my code. You can do share your code for those who want to practice, reproduce the video tutorials. Yes, all the code is available. Some on GitHub, but I haven't updated it in a while. Well, because it's not an actual tutorial. It's just it's me learning how to do it as well. So, but yes, all the code is open source under Creative Commons. It's all the tools I do run online on this website. So they actually, I'm trying to make them as simple as possible. So, for example, this speech, one of the previous tools. Yes, sorry for the GitHub page. I have to update it. But essentially, on this website, if the tool like this one, essentially all the source code will be on the page itself. Because say that's what I'm trying to do is simplifying these tools to have them only ideally it would be just JavaScript and HTML, like it's working for this one. But then, for example, if I want to do more advanced processing for it on my server, well, now I just yesterday started using Flask. So will be more tools coming in Flask. I already have something running, but it's not implemented yet. For example, this face recognition thing I'm trying to simplify. Currently, it's using the regular TensorFlow. I'm trying to convert it into. So in theory, it should be also converted into TensorFlow Lite. And even better, just keep it in JavaScript. But it's work in progress. So we actually had something else we wanted to do today. Just finish this one quickly. So obviously I'm not happy with the. So I wanted this tool to be transparent. But the actual thing is, you can see which direction is it on my. No, on my right. And I have a delay in the video. Right. So this one's not transparent. The image is transparent, but it's not updating as often as I would like. Well, it's because writing files is not ideal. Sometimes even disappears and things like that. And before it was also generating, so obviously with frame counter it will generate a new file every time. So that's even worse. Yeah, it's a good one. It's a pickle. I'll turn it off for now. Make that one smaller. Might close it in a second because I'll be testing other things. But Yeah, and we have the Ava tool that, like the previous version that we had running, actually has the face, so the points overlaid like this. So that's better for testing. Sometimes I was getting left hand being confused for right, like the color, but I can't reproduce it. Ah, yeah, you just saw the red hand was blinking in yellow, which is some sort of bug, or maybe because I'm like moving too fast or whatever. So close this for now, move on for now. We had this other thing that we were trying to do. So we asked ChatGPT to do a biomedical brain neural simulation and visualization. That's what we're interested in. And it suggested this Flask application that's just a sample. Deploying. Yeah, deployment might be a bit difficult because I need to actually change things on the server. Have this XML as well, which I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, I'll have to sort out all the folders and everything. But I want to, for now, get the application actually running. So we have a neural model that uses spiking neural model called Leaky, Integrate, and Fire model. So that's supposedly a common model. That's what it looks like. It's a simplified model of a neural tissue. And wait a sec, there's an actual, I just realized, there's an actual Python model for the library. Where is it? It's on GitHub. Is it on PyPy? No. That's interesting. Have a logo. Not a great logo, but a logo. Right. It's been updated 4 days ago, which is great. I haven't seen this before. And question. ChatGPT actually wrote a model from scratch with all the numbers. I don't know if it's accurate. I would imagine this should be more accurate. Need to know what the. It's an open source, obviously, license. I could possibly use it. I'm just wondering, when ChatGPT gives you code, well, doesn't look like it used this as an example. Well, because it's not using that library at all. So that's interesting. But I'm actually in favor of implementing the model, the basic model with the raw numbers and everything, all the magic numbers myself, because it's something I would like to play with. I would assume this will be the numbers for values of this resistor capacitor voltage there. Yeah, voltage, resisting, potential. I don't know why is it minus. threshold. Not sure about the threshold. So it's interesting. I wonder where it takes this model from. Is in yeah, ideally it will give a source. We would like a source. So what if I search for this? Would it give me anything? Or it's a video. There's something on Stack Overflow back from 2017. It doesn't look like what the ChatGPT have produced. Um, yeah, we can try running it, see what we get. We should be able just to play with it. We should have matplotlib already installed. Let's start. Do it quickly. We'll give it like an hour. We have an hour or so. No, we want a new folder. Yeah, so we're doing this brain neural simulation and visualization data analysis. Hopefully we can get something useful. One good thing it does is generating names for it. So what would you call this web application? Neurovisual. Neurovisual. Just go for the first one. Neurovisual. Okay. So we have neurovisual. Eventually it will appear on the site on Bionic Chaos with all the content. So that's what I'm saying for the source code. I don't know if AC is still with us, but everything I do is on the site first. So all these folders, once I deploy, normally after every stream, almost daily. So whatever is in this neurovisual folder will appear on the site. So for example, eventually we'll need this web config for the IIS for it to be properly deployed. So might as well put it there now. But yeah, it will take some time to sort these folders and everything. Yes, we might need waitress. One of them, I thought the waitress and the fast CGI is the same thing. I'm not sure. No, I don't want virtual environment. I want everything to run here. Where was there? There was some Python script. Um, so we have this Python. What's the default? I'll just call it script for now. Something. This is only 30 lines of code. We can manage that from Flask. Can you combine update and regenerate the Python script. Neuro Flask is actually a better name. Neuro Flask. I like it. I wonder if some of them are actually being, Neurovisual is too generic. BioBrain. Right, so we have the Flask import. That's okay. Eventually we'll need the HTML as well, right? It's still generating. Right, we'll need an index HTML. Might as well add it now. Looking if this is complete code. Doesn't look like. No, it does, but it's too short. Forgot to save the. And we have this HTML. Let's see what it says.
This script sets up a Flask web application named Neurovisual that offers a simple neural simulation and visualization. When users navigate to the root URL, they'll be greeted with a welcome message and a visualization of the neural simulation. To deploy this on IIS, follow the steps mentioned earlier. Make sure to update the web.config file in the IIS settings accordingly.
Well, first we wanna test it. What's wrong with this? Format document. It's missing meta elements. HTML is missing meta elements. Can you fix that? Just displaying the image. That would not work, I suspect. Because, well, that's okay. But yeah, SEO. That's right. We want to improve search results, but we can do it later. So I would like to deploy locally on a development server first. What do I need for that? Yes, that's right. No, I don't want to run it on a virtual environment. I can just run the Flask from here. Yeah, I need that waitress now. No, that's what I meant. Like if I do I have to use waitress straight away? Can I comment this out for a sec? Yeah, that's what I'm confused about in Flask. use the application. So yeah, that's what I was running the previous application as before. That worked okay. Wait, I might as well use that waitress and actually deploy it on the website, because that's what I want to do eventually. Just read this
With the server running, you
quickly.
can access the application through a web browser, make changes, refresh, and see updates in real time. Remember, the Flask development server automatically reloads when it detects changes in the code, making the development process smooth. Note, always ensure that the Flask development server is only used for development purposes. For production deployment,
Yeah, okay, let's go for that production deployment thing. It might take a while, but it's probably worth doing. And we need to install waitress. It's pretty small. Yet that comment went away. Right, so I think that the port is already used. So we have yeah, I'm pretty sure 8080 is used. Just want to confirm. That's what the problem is.
code interpreter. The error permission error, WINERROR 10013, an attempt was made to access a socket in a way forbidden by its access permissions generally indicates that something on your machine is already using the port Flask is trying to run on, default is 5000, or you might not have the necessary permissions to use that port.
No, obviously do have permissions, but yeah, we might do this first. How about the 880 in the code?
Flask run, port 5. A few ways to address this issue. Run as administrator. Sometimes, especially on Windows, certain operations require elevated permissions. Try running your command prompt or terminal as an administrator and then start the Flask application. Change the port. If something else is already using port 5000, you can tell Flask to use a different port. We'll start Flask on port 5001. You can replace 5001 with another port number of your choice. Check for running processes on port 5000. If you suspect something else is running on port 5000, you can check and terminate it. Find a process using port 5.
Yeah, managing ports is always not fun. Have to somehow automate this, so yeah, I could use those. I can terminate. Well, my website is was it normally bought wait, 80 is um so what's would be a website running on when it's no, is it 800? No. No. Anyway, whatever what this is, we'll try running it now on a different port. So do I run Flask run port 5001 or do I change it here? Let's just change it here. Delete that. Is it running? I was expecting it to Um, so I'm not getting the error, but I was expecting it to give it the URL. Would imagine it's just it should be so 5500 is my development thing. That's working okay, but I don't need it at the moment. 001 template not found. Yes, it's obviously there, but cannot find index HTML. What? Why? Templates. Yeah, the templates folder. Templates folder and index. Wait, what? No. Templates folder. Save. Try again. Right. Welcome to. I thought we called it. Ah, right. We did. Did we? Yeah, neurovisual. Neurovisual. And there is no file. Um, where's the file? No errors. There should be an error because this file is missing. Okay. Okay, but it's running on this port. That's progress. Um, yeah, I just take 5. I just take 5. Put some music on. Oh, probably can. How do I do that? I used to do it before. Oh, that would be nice if we could have those particles respond to music. That could be awesome. Yeah, so that's the URL if you want to check it out yourself. We had this audio library. Be back in a sec. I'll restart it for you, but you can play around with yourself on online on the site. How about we add 500? Might take longer, maybe, I don't know.
Some shapes roll in a straight line. So
The warning you're seeing is because you're trying to use Matplotlib's GUI functionalities inside of Flask root, which runs outside of the main thread. When Flask handles a request, it does so in a separate thread from the main program. Matplotlib, on the other hand, expects to be run in the main thread when using its interactive features. Here's how you can address this. 1. Use Matplotlib in non-interactive mode. If you're only generating images to send to the client and don't need any interactive features from Matplotlib, ensure you're using it in a non-interactive mode. This is generally the case when integrating with Flask. You can achieve this by adding the following line before any plotting. Python. You're only generating images to send to the client and don't need any interactive features from Matplotlib, ensure you're using it in a non-interactive mode. This is generally the case when integrating with Flask. You can achieve this by adding the following line before any plotting. Python. Ensures that Matplotlib is in offline or non-interactive mode. 2. Update your Matplotlib code. Make sure you're not using any functions that trigger the GUI, such as plt.show. Instead, you should be saving the plot to a buffer or file. For instance, in the Flask root, you can use. This saves the plot to a bytes.io object which can then be sent as a response. 3. Update Matplotlib backend. You can also specify a non-interactive backend for Matplotlib. Before importing any Matplotlib modules in your script, set the backend to ag, which is a non-interactive backend suitable for generating images and not displaying them. You can also specify a non-interactive backend for Matplotlib. Before importing any Matplotlib modules in your script, set the backend to ag, which is a non-interactive backend suitable for generating images and not displaying them. Python. Copy code. You can also remember to place the matplotlib.use ag before any other Matplotlib imports. Making these adjustments should eliminate the warning and allow your Flask app to generate and serve Matplotlib plots without issues.
Yeah, we have this issue. Before as well. Thing is, are those options?
You're only generating images to send to the client and don't need any interactive features from Matplotlib, ensure you're using it in a non-interactive mode. This is generally the case when integrating with Flask. You can achieve this by adding the following line before any plotting.
Why am I doing plotting?
This ensures that Matplotlib is in offline or non-interactive mode.
Okay.
Make sure you're not using any functions that trigger the GUI, such as plt.show. Instead, you should be saving the plot to a buffer or file.
Am I using plot show? No, I'm saving it to file. Okay, now it's starting to hallucinate a bit. Yes. That's what we do.
This saves the plot to a bytes.io object which can then be sent as a response. 3. Update Matplotlib backend. You can also specify a non-interactive backend for Matplotlib. Before importing any Matplotlib modules in your script, set the backend to ag, which is a non-interactive backend suitable for generating images and not displaying them. Remember to place the matplotlib.use ag before any other Matplotlib imports. Making these adjustments should eliminate the warning and allow your Flask app to generate and serve Matplotlib plots without issues.
Right. So we can still run it from here. I'm still surprised it's not getting the actual URL. Okay. Something with the folder, would imagine. The folder in your visual. We have it in here. Templates, there's no file. What's this file called? Control. image source simulate all that. Playfig. Okay, saving a figure. Let's simulate this folder. It meant to be there's no image displayed. There's also no simulate folder. Oh, quick.
The simulation route, as currently implemented, returns a base 64 encoded PNG image. We need to ensure the frontend, HTML, can interpret and display this correctly. Update the index.html template to display the image with a data URL.
Okay. Image source. To run it again. Yeah, because there were changes. It would not take. That thing I don't understand. Switch. Template. No, it should be called like this, is it? Oh, come on. I don't get it.
Then, in your Flask route for the simulation,
Simulate. That's okay. Image basically is FPNG. That's the same, isn't it? Yes. Ah, it's not a
the
folder.
root
It's,
/simulate
yeah,
is not a
okay,
folder
got it.
but an endpoint in your Flask app that returns the image. When the browser requests this URL, it will be handled by the simulate function in your Flask app, which will generate the image and return it. If you're getting a 404 error for the /simulate route, double check the following. Ensure that your Flask app script has the simulate route defined and that there are no typos. Confirm that the Flask app is running and accessible at the expected address, example http:// that there are no errors in the Flask terminal/console output when you access the main page or the /simulate route. By making the aforementioned adjustments and verifying the route, you should be able to display the generated neural simulation image on your main page.
That the image. Something with the folders. Something's wrong with the folders. And now let's try give it the code back. Mistake. That's
Thank you
good
for
to
providing the
know.
updated HTML code. I see the change you made to display the image using a data URL. However, there's a mistake in the way you're trying to embed the image. The URL underscore for function in Flask generates URLs for routes, not the actual content returned by those routes. The way you're trying to embed the image is implying that URL underscore for simulate will return the base 64 encoded image content, but it doesn't. Here's how to correct it. Update your Flask route to return the image content directly. Python. Update your HTML to accept the image data.
What? I have to restart it every time.
Doing this, you're passing the base 64 encoded image data directly to the HTML template, which then embeds it in the image tag. When you access the main page, it should display the generated neural simulation image correctly.
No. Control 5. Okay. I think I'm giving up. Might say bye bye just in case. See you next time. Just keep going. There's nothing in the chat. No. Try and fix this. Just try it in another browser or something. And no same thing. show that. Right, so we're not generating image. It's another. It's that bytes IO that is moving it across.
HTML template looks correct now.
Mistake.
You're embedding the base64 encoded image data directly in the IMG tag's src attribute, which should display the generated neural simulation image. To summarize, the Flask root/simulate generates the neural simulation, converts the plot to a base64 encoded PNG image, and sends this data to the index.html template. The index.html template receives the IMG data and embeds it in the IMG tag. When you navigate to http://127.0.0.1:5001/ or http://localhost 5001/, you should see the Neurovisual Applications main page displaying the neural simulation image. You should see the Neurovisual Applications main page displaying the neural simulation image. If there are any issues or if the image doesn't display, please ensure. The Flask app is running and listening on port 5001. There are no errors in the Flask terminal/console output. The index.html template is located in a templates folder in the same directory as your Flask script. If everything seems in order and you still face issues, please provide more details or error
Right, so it's working. And that's an image. Anyway, I'll call it a win. Because it's doing something not quite as I was expecting, but better than nothing. And hopefully we'll have something ready to appear on the site. So if you haven't checked binarychaos.com, please go do so. And there would be more tools coming soon and updates. So yeah.